countdown of the world's most extreme slime balls, it's not surprising to find one contender that lives in a dark, damp cave. Since mucus can be as much as 96% water, it makes sense to live somewhere far from the evaporating effects of the sun, especially when you need nice, moist slime to go fishing. Bugs beware, because each one of these delicate strands is actually a gooey fishing line. In the darkness of the cave, it takes a most unusual bait to lure prey into these sticky threads. That's why this maggot has a twinkling light in its bottom. Sliding in to number 3 in the countdown is the New Zealand glowworm. On the roof of the cave, these tiny fly larvae look like stars. The bioluminescence is caused by chemical reactions inside a special organ found at the end of an excretory tube. The hungrier the glowworm, the brighter the light shining from its bottom. This may attract a meal, but it's slime that catches it. Suspended from a vast network of mucus tubes spread across the rock, the glowworm's fishing lines are strong enough to trap even large cockroaches. That's because glowworm slime has a secret ingredient. Some researchers believe those gooey droplets contain chemicals that quickly paralyze its prey. This means that the little maggot can quickly haul in its catch and feed in peace. Slime makes eating easier for all kinds of animals. Even before food enters your mouth, your brain triggers glands around your tongue to release saliva. It helps us swallow even the driest foods, which is why we produce up to 3 pints of this slippery lubricant every day. And things just get slimier as we head down to the stomach. Glands in the stomach wall produce powerful hydrochloric acid that kills many of the germs that may be swallowed in contaminated food. The only thing that stops the acid destroying our own body is slime. The stomach is coated in a thick layer of alkaline mucus. In the past, it was thought that stress could cause gaps in the protective coat, which in turn created ulcers. But recently, scientists have discovered that 90% of stomach ulcers are actually caused by bacteria. The infection weakens the stomach's mucus lining and makes it more susceptible to the damaging effects of its own digestive juices. The damaging juices of the glowworm are not only found in its stomach, it's turned gooey droplets into a poisonous snare for unsuspecting bugs. However, our next contender goes one step further because its slime shines. On a dark night in the forests of New Zealand, one animal has discovered that producing a bright light is a great way to get out of trouble. Brendan Hicks from the University of Waikato is out looking for a very special slime ball. It shines much brighter than a glowworm, but only when it's in danger. That's why Brendan needs a flashlight to find the freshwater limpet called Latia. A cousin of the snail, The limpet has a flattened shell and a muscular foot that's so strong, it can cling to places where other snails would surely get swept away. It can't move fast, which is why it's found a way to use mucus as a decoy. Imagine if we could use slime like a limpet when a nocturnal predator was looking for an easy meal. When the going gets tough, a limpet starts spitting. A blob of mucus that glows in the dark and presents a far more attractive target as it drifts away. A predator might lose its appetite if it's got a big, bright bit of goo smeared on its snout. Producing green, glowing slime is a great tactic for Latia, because the fish that feed on the limpet are mostly nocturnal. They're using the darkness to hide from even bigger predators, so if they attack a limpet and get a snout covered in green glowing goo, their camouflage is destroyed. Then the hunter could become the hunted, and the waters become safer for the limpet. However, sometimes good things can happen when you get covered in slime. Dogs drool a lot. But their slobber's not totally disgusting. Researchers from the University of California discovered that when mothers licked their puppies, they were actually killing harmful bugs. Dog saliva contains compounds that destroy the bacteria that cause potentially fatal diseases in young mammals. So perhaps getting a sloppy kiss from a dog is not quite as gross as you thought. Limpets also have other surprising uses for their slime, especially when they're on the move. It takes time-lapse photography to appreciate just how much these saltwater limpets can travel when they go grazing on microscopic algae. Just like a snail, mucus lubricates the passage of the limpet's muscular foot. Recently, scientists discovered that the slime also acts as fertilizer. It's rich in nitrogen, which stimulates the growth of the plants it eats. So, everywhere the limpet goes, algae is sure to grow. The slime is also used for navigation. A limpet can follow its gooey trail back to the protection of its very own groove in the rock. The smeared mucus of one species lasts for 40 days, the most enduring slime produced by any animal. However, not even the limpet can compete with the most extreme slime ball in the countdown. Number 1. You can find the most extreme slime ball in the countdown on the campus of the University of California in Santa Cruz. The students love the animal at number 1 in the countdown, Sammy the banana slug. Sammy the slug wasn't always this popular. The story goes that despite being the unofficial mascot of UCSC for many years, the university management decided they needed something more dignified than a slimy slug to represent their university. One chancellor thought that the sea lions living on the coast would be more appropriate, and even had a picture of the mammal painted on the basketball court. The students ignored it completely, because there will only ever be one mascot at UCSC, and it's the animal that's number one in our countdown of extreme slime balls. It lives in the forests of America's west coast, and not surprisingly, it's big, yellow, and incredibly slimy. Alice Harper is a naturalist who spent years in these woods observing the banana slug's more unusual habits.
The banana slug has a very unique ability to make a slime cord. Say the banana slug has crawled up a tree to eat some of the lichen growing on the tree, and suddenly the sun comes out and it has to get down where it's protected or it'll dry up and die. So it connects a bunch of slime from a gland in its tail to the tree limb and starts going head first in midair until it's long enough and it reaches the ground, and it's gotten to safety quicker than it could have by crawling down the tree.
Of course, the animal at number one in the countdown has many more uses for slime than just a slippery bungee cord. Just like a snail, it secretes copious amounts of mucus to act both as a lubricant and a glue to climb over vertical surfaces. And, like a limpet, the banana slug leaves behind a gooey trail wherever it travels. When it's in the mood for love, it will smear pheromones into its slimy track as a chemical come hither for a potential partner. The only problem with being completely covered in sticky slime is that all the debris in the forest will eventually end up stuck on your body. That's why the banana slug also uses slime as a shower. It will move all the goo on its body back towards the tail until there's a huge hunk of mucky mucus clinging to its backside. Then it just turns around and eats the lot. But not all animals can cope with slug slime. Its bright color is a warning that predators ignore at their peril. When attacked, banana slugs produce a super thick slime. Even dogs have been seen gagging on its goo. This salamander learned the hard way to stay clear of banana slugs. Their slime contains toxic chemicals and sticks jaws together like super glue. From moving to mating or cleaning and escaping, the super slime of the banana slug does it all. So it's not surprising that this little slime ball has finally gained the recognition it deserves at the University of California, Santa Cruz. Sammy the slug may be a little cuddlier than his namesake, but there's no doubt that when it comes to making mucus, the banana slug really is the most extreme.